Hi, what's up guys, and welcome to Red 35's very first live stream. And today is photography 101, and how would I put it? I'm very excited. I don't know how many will be watching because this is not the usual time schedule that we have. Usually our Wednesday video will be 12 p.m. So today is the very first time that we're doing it later than usual, and it's going to be really interesting. So I'm hoping that you guys will join me from now on around this sort of time, because this is the time that's kind of like not lunchtime. If you guys don't know, we're under the lockdown at the moment, so I can't go out and film anything, so I cannot pre-edit and pre-record videos and to show you what's going on at the moment. So everything has to be done live at the moment, and that will save me some time in terms of editing as well, so I can be with the family in this critical time as well. So hope you guys will understand and continue to support this channel as usual. So yes, today is Photography 101 and also Q&A. So I have live comment started already, so if you guys want to type something, I don't know exactly how well you see me and how well I can communicate with this particular setup at the moment. First of all, I just want to ask you some question. Can you guys hear me? If you guys can hear me, just press OK or leave some comments. At least I know that things are good. Oh, Henry, yeah, it's good. Finally, I can see some comments coming in. That's very good. Yeah, how are you? How's Japan? Japan is probably similar to UK in London, right? So this is cool. I mean, I'm loving it at the moment. So this is more like a trial at the moment for this particular video, or this particular live stream at the moment. Is first of all, it's the first time for me on YouTube, and secondly, it's still teething problem at the moment. I need to get used to the program that I'm using for live stream. I need to make sure the gear that I'm having is sufficient. I have to apologize, and also because my kids are screaming in the background, and just once again, if you guys don't know, wow, lots of people. Hello, hi, Enoch, Wano Geeked, Alexis, good. So many people joining me. That's very good. Hi all. Henry, you're not in lockdown. That's okay, right? So I know this live stream thing is kind of new to me, so I know that a lot of people want to talk to me, so I'm gonna probably talk to you one by one, and I might just look at some comments every now and then to see what's the specific point you want me to talk about. I do have some schedule today for my 101 session, live session, so that would be something to discuss. And from this point on, what I want to do is, if you can leave me some comment down in the comment section down below, what you guys would like me to talk about in my future live videos, that I'll make a schedule, and then we're gonna go from there. Because this is a time that we are going to spend a lot of hours at home, so hopefully I can inspire you continuously and also do some great photography and filmmaking. Okay, wow. Let's see, I do have a lot of comments. Excellent. Andrew, hi Andrew. Hi Scott. Can I scroll this? Oh, I can scroll it too. Hi David. Hello. I think Lost Portrait Wedding bookings will come back. Right, okay. I will come to that wedding comments in a minute, David. Let's see what others people talk about. Great stuff. Right, we've got quite a lot of people. That's good. Okay. So let's start it off. Just give you a brief summary. I know people who are tuning in are usually our subscriber, but if you are new in this channel, my name is Jimmy Cheng. I am a professional photographer and filmmaker. I'm also an Olympus Ambassador, so yes, I work with them to produce commercial works, and also I shoot projects for them as well. So this is a kind of exciting position I'm in at the moment. If you are wondering what gear that I'm using to film or live streaming this setup at the moment, ignoring my house, is the EM1 Mark III, which I'm going to talk a little bit about later. If you guys want to know a little bit about the EM1 Mark III, also fire some questions to me as well. I'm using the Rode Video Mic NTG directly mounted on top, and then everything hooked up into my computer, my brilliant MacBook Pro computer. I have a second cam. You can see the difference straight away, and the quality difference between the EM1 Mark III currently streaming at 4K, and then to my crappy MacBook Pro front camera. Let's see the difference. You can see immediately that this is the difference. This is amazing, you know, and so I much prefer this. But the reason I set up 2 cams is that it's give me some sort of angles to play with, and also I can show you guys some stuff in the future when I do screen sharing. Let's say I'm gonna do some live editing, so you can see how I edit my photos. And I know a lot of people have been asking me for a long time how do I edit my photos, how do I edit my videos, and what sort of color grading I use and things like that. So that's the stuff that I'm gonna show you guys, right? Oh, Henry, you are a Fujifilm convert, right? I'm gonna show you one picture in a minute, and continue my introduction, because I'm hoping there'll be some newcomers here, so they're not my followers, so you'll be tuning into this channel and like this channel, continue to support us as well. So I mentioned that I'm an Olympus Ambassador, but before I'm an Olympus Ambassador, I was actually a Canon guy. So I've been with Canon for, I would say, a good 12-13 years. I also shot Leica. Yes, this is a really weird. So let me show you this picture here. Right, okay. This is the reason why I switched to Micro Four Third, one of them at least. And well, obviously that I show you this example here. This is my old Leica M240 with the 50 Summilux, and I still use that camera setup from time to time. But if you look at the overall size and weight, and also in terms of features and everything, you know, like you can't really compare to Olympus. And I mean, people can argue with full frame and Micro Four Third, or like the aesthetic from the depth of field point of view, but you know, as a professional photographer, I can utilize whatever I want to make the images that I want. So simply, like, you know, for instance, I'll give you an example here. You know, you can't really tell this is a Micro Four Third picture. You know, this is absolutely a you know. The thing is, if I don't tell you that from Micro Four Third, you guys wouldn't know what it's from anyway. And so it's depending on the photographer. So you just have to make sure you know how you optimize and also exploit the kit that you have. You know, you don't really need expensive gear to do things. And but anyway, I'm gonna go down to that later on. Hello, hi GDD, hi Christian, hi Erwin. I'm gonna say hi to a lot of people. Hi John. I saw people from Manchester. Where is it from Manchester? Oh, hi, John's from Manchester. Hi, Manchester. Hi, Manchester. Okay, right. Cool. Awesome. Yes. Hi, Shaka. Yeah, I like your thumbnail. Your thumbnail is cool, man. Okay. So, today's 101, I want to talk about photography. And so if you guys want to know a little bit about wedding photography, for instance, because I know some guys already ask me wedding photography. Is it important in terms of low light photography? I think that's the subject I want to talk about. I know a lot of people always say, you know, Micro Four Third is crap in low light. Well, Henry, you want me to talk about gear? Okay, I'm going to show you gear in a minute. Wedding, I mean, low light photography is something that people, it's almost like a holy grail, right? And everyone is talking about low light photography. You know, your gear has to be able to shoot in low light by means of high ISO. I would think personally, the high ISO is more like an artificial thing. I don't know how I would put it, you know, because as a photographer, you really want to learn and know how to look for light. To be quite honest, you know, like I know people using a lot of techniques like shoot to the right or expose to the right, UTTR, which is kind of the technique for almost all the camera formats and things like that. And ETTR is definitely works in all situations in terms of low light photography, but I think learning to look for lights is always important as well, you know. And I know sometimes can be very hard in, like, let's say you have a very evenly lit scene, so like, you know, you have to push your ISO, you know, quite high to capture everything, you know, if just very even. But for me, if you want to choose it artistically, you know, you might want to like look for certain light angles, certain things, and expose for that light. And that's how I usually capture lower light scenes, for instance, in churches and in hotels and in receptions and things like that. That's how I do it. And also, someone wants to know a little bit about Weibo lens, I have it right next to me actually. And but also in terms of looking for light, you know, you do need a fairly fast prime to help that, because in Micro Four Third especially, and if you have 1.2 Pro lenses, they are definitely geared for low light photography because you're shooting wide open, and all the 17, 25 and 45 1.2 lenses are really great for that. You know, I've never really talked about depth of field too much, and because depth of field is an aesthetic thing, you know, like you can use depth of field to create aesthetically pleasing images, or using as a texture. That's how I would see it. I don't usually like to shoot really ultra shallow depth of field photos just because first of all it look overkill, and second, that, you know, a lot of things that I do for my photography are basically involving environment. I want to show my clients and my subject that where they were and things like that. So like if you blow them all out, you know, without any sort of recognitions, that's not really a photograph for them to treasure. You know, they really want to know where they were. You know, especially for weddings. You know, they pay handsome money for that venue. You know, you don't want them to forget about the venue by simply using depth of field to blur everything out just for them. And so that's my theory. Obviously, people have different take on shallow depth of field, but for me, that's why I rarely go down to the ultra shallow depth of field. People must always argue if you guys are the full frame guys or the larger format guys and think that, oh yeah, you say that because you're Micro Four Third, right? I wouldn't say that, because why? You know, I just showed you a picture of my Leica, and then and also, you know, this is a 50mm 1.4 Summilux. I also have the 0.95 Noctilux. These are ultra shallow depth of field lenses. I also had the Canon 85 1.2L, and these are also extremely shallow depth of field. But I rarely shoot it at wide open unless it's necessary to capture the light. So this is my take. You know, I always swap it down to 2.8 or 3.5, and depending on what lens I'm using, and to make sure that it's really nice and sharp. And also the margin of error is also very important as well, because when you're shooting a full frame or larger format and 1.4, 1.8, because of the depth of field, you have to be quite sure about the focusing. You know, like it's less forgiving compared to a smaller format camera like the Micro Four Third or APS-C format sensor. So you just have to be a little bit careful about, you know, what you shoot and how you shoot your thing, or what sort of thing you're shooting. And so that's all about that. Okay, next, let's see what other people has brought up, and see what I can answer some of the question. And don't be afraid for high ISO. Yeah, of course not. Hi Song, hi from Macau. How's Macau, by the way? And I know you guys probably similar to Hong Kong, is it? I'm not entirely sure. So, right, Shaka, you say blame Kai for bokeh. How does he call bokeh? Did he say bouquet or bokeh? I'm not entirely sure. He always say bokeh, and bokelicious. That's what he say. You know, and then bokelicious. Right, okay, alright, any other questions here? Serious question. I want to get into nude and adult and porn photography. Great question. Right, okay, well, I guess you just have to build your portfolio up first, you know, like any sort of photography business. If we want to get into something, you just have to start somewhere, you know, to get clients, to get your subjects in, allowing them to have confidence in you, you really have to build a portfolio to show them what you can achieve. You know, like I'm not disregarding new photography because I did some before, and it can be really artistic. I mean, I actually enjoy that, but the subject has to trust you as a photographer, you know, and that's all I can say. Build up your portfolio and then move on from there. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's midnight there, isn't it, Henry? Okay, right. Hi, Franco. And excellent. 香港加油. Hey, I can speak Cantonese. Yes. Right, okay. Any questions? Anything else? I'm playing with the new Mark III every day is more than interesting. Really, blah, blah, blah. Versatile. Yes, it is. Right. yes, as I mentioned, let's talk a little bit about gear now. Since I'm using the EM1 Mark III to live stream at the moment, I have to say that the new eye and face detect feature is fantastic, you know. And at the moment, I'm using the Laowa 7.5 f2 lens because where I'm at the moment, I'm actually on the dining table, and it's just a quick thing because everybody is working from home now, and so like we kind of sharing the space a little bit. So I need something quite close to me. So so I'm using the 7.5. So I'm putting the camera literally arm length from my body. So this is how wide this lens can be, and it's really good as well. But I could slap on a let's say the 12mm f2. Premium lens, and you can actually see the eye focusing working. This is really fantastic. I think that's really nice. Well, I saw something. My neighbor is Chinese. What's the best lens for porn photography? Why you guys want to talk about porn photography? This is not photography 101. I should change the name to porn 101. Okay, and well, any lens, you can use any lens. Okay, all right. I mean, I'm gonna leave it at that. Shu Wing Chow, I just got a full third 50 to 200. Yeah, that is a lovely lens. I love that lens. That's a cool lens. To make the Mark II, did you get the adapter, by the way? You need the adapter to work better. Right, Lighter Billingham back. Alex Lee brought me to your channel. Right, talking about Billingham. Yes, okay. I'm just going to show you one picture. I knew some guys are going to ask me that. So I already fully prepared. Look at that. How good am I? So this is the Billingham Hadley Small Pro. This is cool. You can see my lovely setup here. Hi, Eric. Hi. Yes, I'm from Hong Kong. 原來如此. Yes. 我中文都未退步嘅，所以應該都可以講到中文. Yeah. So yes, I can still speak Cantonese, even though that from time to time I will have to think about words because that's how rusty I am. And I mean, I can still speak. No, don't get me wrong. But you know, like over time, if you don't speak a lot, if you don't hear a lot local, how local speaks, and you lose some words or some current words or phrases. Like the other day, I was watching a program in Hong Kong from Hong Kong, and I couldn't understand certain section of it, which is kind of embarrassing because I'm from Hong Kong. But like, if you move abroad, you will lose it because you're not in tune with the latest language. I don't know if it makes sense. And but anyway, hi Rob. Hi Rob. Good for you to join. Right. Given your current lens you own, would you still strongly consider 825 from Olympus if it ever comes out? Yes, of course I would. It really depending on the circumstance, and you know, like what I'm doing at the moment, I'm using the 7.5 f2 lens only because the distance I require, and 8 to 25 is not out yet. And also I do have the 7 to 14 f2.8 Pro Zoom with me, but this is just way smaller and way lighter. So if the 8 to 25 ever come out, the f4 version, and that might be interesting. You never know, so we'll see. And hi Robin. Hello. Hi. How's Malaysia? And I'm getting hot now. So many people. I'm excited. And wow, so many people. That's awesome. Right, let's go back to Billingham. I was talking about Billingham. So this is my usually this is my street setup, and I have the Hadley Small Pro with my Pen F. I have my Pen F here, even though I took the lens out. And yeah, this is my Pen F. So I do love this guy for my street photography, just because it's so in tune with my hands, and I just love the dials and everything. It just looks absolutely awesome. And yep, so this is, if you want to see things in real life, this is the back. This is the exact back here. Yeah, you can see it right here. I do have two cameras inside. They're both Leicas, and because I was testing a film for lomography, and I was testing Metropolis film, which they're on sale at the moment. I think it's 100 to 400 ISO. Brilliant film, really interesting color tones. If you haven't tried lomography films, try that. And what else though? And Malaysia is still under lockdown. Well, we are new to lockdown. Today is the second day, Robin, and so that is gonna be interesting. I don't know how long this is gonna last. Hopefully not too long. So let's go back to the EM1 Mark III. Some guys were asking about EM1 Mark III earlier. So yes, I do love the AF features. I think is by far one of the best Olympus AF systems out there at the moment, even better than this, the EM1X. Personally, only because the without the latest firmware, and I'm hoping Olympus is going to release a new firmware to update the EM1X to have the same eye focused AF on the EM1 Mark III, because I love that feature a lot. Not only because it helps in terms of portrait photography, in terms of reaction time, so it'll be a lot faster, and also secondly for filming, because you know that I film a lot these days, and having that automation and accuracy should be very, very good. So at the moment, if I'm filming with human subjects, I would actually use the EM1 Mark III to film instead of the EM1X. But for everything else, I still use the EM1X simply because it has a lot of things I like. Just the overall ergonomic just feels a little bit better in a way. I don't know how to describe it, but it's pretty good. And did you use the battery grip on the EM1? Yes and no. Right, I would use the battery grip for when I'm filming, because I want to have extended battery life. I don't tend to use the grip when I'm just using the EM1 Mark III, funny enough, but then of course the EM1X has built-in grip, so I just have to use it. But I find it quite useful, of course, because when you turn it to portrait, it's always very, very good. And what other questions do I have here? How do you feel about the joystick? Oh, you mean the nipple? Yes, I love the nipples. The nipples are great. But the EM1 Mark III only has one nipple, so that I think that's another reason why I like the EM1X here, because it has two nipples here. So whichever orientation I am, I'm always reaching to the nipple to change focusing point, which is actually very, very good. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I like still using the EM1X, because it's actually very good and very fast, because it has dual UHS 2 card slot, so that's very good. You don't use the joystick that much. Really, Robin? Oh, I'm surprised. I'm actually using it a lot, especially for filming. And oh, let's talk about filming. Yes, I think another thing about EM1 Mark III is with the new AF system, especially in filming mode, continuous tracking with face detect. You can highlight the faces and you can track individual faces if you want, and then it will lock onto that particular face, which is fantastic tool, especially you are more like a one-man band, you know, and this is fantastic. Okay, right, will my comment get banned? No, I think I've probably said it about 10 times already, Robin, so I think you're safe. I think you're safe there. Okay, let's talk a little bit about photography. And I've been keep saying about photography, like you guys keep distracting me. Okay, let's see. I do have some images to show you guys. Let me just find some images. Right, let's see this one. This is Hong Kong, guys. I want to show you this. And just before basically the lockdown, of course. So that was taken earlier this year, when in January. Actually, before I flew back, and yeah, it's just a familiar scenes, and I love black and white, and that was taken on a Pen F. It's fantastic. I love using the Pen F to shoot black and white. As you guys know that the black and white, the Pen F has the front dial for black and white JPEGs, and I love to use that option to create kind of my black and white film, if you know what I mean. And then it's really, really cool. So in terms of street photography, you know, I love just catching that moment, or the more kind of eye contact I like to catch. So a lot of the time when I go to a location, I will stand in the location. If I find a certain background or certain light I love, and I would usually just stick around and then wait for a moment to happen, and then so let me just kept a little bit smaller. So that's why I was waiting for that guy to turn around and just give me that look, because I was hoping for one of them would do that, and that's perfect, because that guy is simply just, because if you look at this whole scene here, you know, there are four people in this scene, and three of them were actually sitting on the railing, and one of them was standing, and so happened the ones turning back and look at me was the one standing. So that's why I think this image works, because of that particular reason, because he is the only one that's slightly different to the others. So that's really cool. All right, okay. And what else are you guys talking about now? Right, looks like we have a conversation between Rob, and GDD at the moment. Okay, how do you prepare your images for print at a photo lab? Cropping, scaling, print size, paper choices, canvas. Oh wow, you're going technical, aren't you, Scott? Okay, that's going to be interesting, because it really depending on your output. How do I prepare my image? First of all, I will set the depending on the print size. I usually use 300 dpi for any printing. So if you're printing something larger, I usually would go to I'll use a plugin or use the Photoshop default output algorithm to basically select the print size that I want and basically output as 300 dpi. And then I use professional print lab, and because at home I don't have a large printer, I have maximum size of A4, so I don't have any A3 plus sizes, so I have to send it out to a professional lab. The one that I work with, they would look at my file and then adjust accordingly. So I don't tend to have to mess around too much. Before I did that, and when I used to have a larger printer, but I no longer need to do that because the print volume these days is a lot lower, so I just basically sent it out and let them do it. But for canvas, yes, you're quite right. For canvas, you don't need such a high DPI because of the material, so you don't really need that. So depending on how big you want to print, 250 should do the job. But regardless, these days, if for me, I'll just standardize everything, just output anything in 300 dpi. For anything screen is 72 dpi, so it's as simple as that. So I hope that answered your question. And paper choices, well, paper choices can be a little bit tricky, and because that really depending on what sort of thing you want to print. I like to print my stuff in gloss actually. Sometimes I may want to do something in matte. Not so much of the material, kind of like cotton canvas type of materials, because you don't see the quality of the print, and they are more used for gifts, and then things like that. What else? Right, let's see. Been working on pop performance and current restriction. I'm back with my Lego Me project. Okay. Use Blackwire for the proof. Okay, right. Okay. Saw some interesting comments from Olympus Big Boss. Sounds like there is still a lot of lenses and possible cameras to be released in 2020. Leon. Okay. Well, you get me there. I know there are something coming out. I know that they already committed, I think, to release something every year, but at this moment in time I would not be able to tell you, and even if I do, I would probably not be able to tell you anyway. So you just have to stay tuned for our channel, and obviously stay tuned to Robbins and Peter and all the other Michael Forsyth guys out there. Rob, they will be able to tell you as soon as we hear anything. Hi Cristiano, hello from Italy. Oh wow, hit Italy. Wow, okay, how are you guys, man? I know you guys are having a tough time there, so I hope you guys are okay. Stay safe, guys. I really, from the bottom of my heart, I really hope that you guys are okay. And let's see. I think I see Rob has a comment there. Speaking of photo to print, can you explain my workflow with color space? sRGB versus Adobe RGB versus Pro Photo Extra. Does it really matter? Okay. Personal experience, not really. And color space is more scientific than actual practical, to be honest. And unless you are going for the very, very high-end editing, and I really don't see the difference between them when you're actually starting to output files and things like that. I just really hoping that people don't get drilled down too much in terms of differences between different color space and things that most of them in terms of the availability of color, like millions to billions, whatever, you know, and there isn't too much of a difference. It's just a tiny little bit there. Of course, there are subtle differences, but only the very trained eyes, the colorists, will be able to see the difference. So, like, as normal photographer, if you switch between them, you would not be able to tell. And for most people, when you're editing your photo, you would not be able to tell the difference. And I think, for me, I used to select Adobe RGB, and then it just me. And so I think that Adobe RGB are slightly more common. Don't get me wrong, you know. I mean, so don't quote on me. So correct me if I'm wrong. But I use Adobe RGB. So. Okay, yes, depends on printer as well, correct. You know, some printers prefer certain format and color space because their printers are calibrated for the color space. Very good, Henry, thank you for that. And so, yeah, you have to, if you're intending to print, that's it. If you're intending to print your photos and things like that, you have to ask them what sort of color space they prefer, and then you basically select the color space you want to work with, so there will be no miscommunication somewhere. Okay. Hi, Jeffrey. Hi to Canada. Which part of Canada are you from? I've got a lot of friends in Canada. And let's see. Robbins. Lockdown and private info. Oh, seriously, you know, like this lockdown thing has been quite something, I have to say. It's quite something. Right, let's go back to the photo. And next one, I'm going to bring another photo, another street photo that I did a couple of years back. And let's go out here. If I want to show you this, oh, I blocked my own face. Okay, let's do it like that. Can you guys see? If not, I'll blow it bigger again. Let me make it bigger again so you guys can see. Okay, and so let's put it right in the middle, and so you can all see it. Right. Okay. So this is another photo that I took on the street in the bank area in central London, and it's one of the more iconic photos that I did. Many people actually kind of like this photo. My client bought a couple of prints on this one. It's fantastic, you know. It's completely candid. There's no posing anywhere, and like any street photography that I do, that I tend not to ask people what to do or pose for me unless it's street portrait. I would basically, near Buffalo, New York. Okay, I know where that is. Cool. And so the photo itself is very symmetrical. That's how I would call it. I like symmetrical photos. That's how my mind works. I like a lot of things symmetrical. I like lines. Leading lines, for instance, and this photo is combining all those elements in there. So if I just gonna minimize that a little bit, and so you can just go back here, so I can show you or talk to you a little bit about this photo that I really enjoyed, because first of all, I talked about symmetry, and is that you can see the entire photo there. It's got the blue, which is the subject, right in the middle of the frame, and then you have the red bus on her right, and also she's holding a red handbag on her left. And this is kind of the symmetry I'm talking about. And also in terms of building, you can also kind of get the idea as well. So this entire photo, it wasn't actually set up. I didn't really set up anything there, and I simply just stand where I found it interesting. Like I mentioned earlier, if I see something really interesting, I'll just stand there for quite a while usually, and waiting for something to happen. There will be a little bit, I think, a little element of luck, and because this may not happen no matter how long you stand there. So like, it just so happens you came across, and I was already there, geared up for it, and I just took the shot. Also about timing, just like any street photography, timing is very important, because any 2 seconds later the bus will be completely in the wrong place, or before will be completely too much on her right. Yeah, so it's interesting. Also, so happened the wind just blew a little bit, so add a little bit of motion to the picture as well. So like her coat was actually flapping a little bit, so it actually adds a lot of emotions to the photo. That's why I really like this particular photo. Okay. Let's see what else in here. Where did the name Red 35 come from? Okay, Shaka. Well, you got me there. And well, to be frank, and red was one of my favorite colors, and I think Leica did help a little because I was a Leica user. But 35, it is still my favorite focal length. Just because now I'm using micro four third, and 35 and micro four third is 70. So like my new favorite is the 17 millimeters 1.2 Pro, and then so that's the equivalent of 35. But this is the 35 is my favorite focal length. Hi Jane, hi Ricky. Oh, how are you? You're finally here. This is not a good shot. Okay, right. Okay, what else here? It was well abused, so no worries. Amazing camera, Ted last long. Who else there? Rob said, sad to hear your EP5 LCD. Oh, yes, I didn't see the video, Robin. I know your LCD died for one of the thing. Really? Lucid, is it your name, Lucid? I'm actually still trying to see what your name is. You got a very long username. I'm trying to figure out which is your name, and you're not called Dream, yeah? Okay. Right. I'm wrong. No, I'm not 35. I wish I'm 35. Tend to baby my camera some. Jeffrey, I used to do that. You know, like I used to be. I was like you. And basically I pamper my cameras. I had protective films everywhere, but not anymore. Since I turned pro, you know, like you just can't babysit your camera anymore. You know, you are wearing a camera. You are basically, you know, using it from every single day. You'll be bashing it around, and yeah, it's not easy, I'm telling you. Okay, I'm just trying to get another photo somewhere, and seems to disappear, that photo. Okay, that's interesting. Right, lovely hoodie. Yes, you like me? You like this nice top? You know, they don't make this anymore. I mean, this is Gai Zai Mak. You know, I don't know how many Hong Kong people are here. 我是清醒. Good one. Okay, and yeah, so I know they make a lot of underwears in Hong Kong, and this is like a very Hong Kong brand, and so I got this top probably about 6-7 years ago, when they used to have a flagship store in Mong Kok area, and then I saw it. I went in there. I just saw this top. As I gotta have this. This is cool, man. Right. Okay. Any other question you want to ask me in terms of photography? Let's see. Okay, you like my 17 versus 17 versus 17. Yeah, thank you for liking that video. And it, you know, for doing these sort of comparison videos is quite tricky, because you know, as you know, that our styles are usually outdoor, and because that's how I shoot. You know, that's how I like to present our videos. I just like to stand on the street and talk to you guys. It feels more lifelike, so that's why I always like to go outside. But as you know that we can't do that anymore, at least for the foreseeable future, and we just have to stick around here. So doing that sort of comparison is, I don't like those what I call it, the lab environment where you photograph a test chart in terms of like sharpness and things like that. I think it's a little bit boring, to be honest, and also doesn't reflect real life situations. You know, when you go outside, you don't have a flat surface to photograph all the time. So like, to me, those test chart is mainly for people who like to pixel peep. So for me, I just go out and shoot. Let's see. Let's like arrange, find the red dot. Ricky, you're kind of partially right. And then yeah, like I mentioned earlier, the 35 was my or is still my favorite focal length in full frame terms. And then so I do have a couple of Leicas here. So I have one right here. This is the M240, and then I also have the M6 here. And then so these are two Leicas that I'm shooting before the lockdown, because I was testing, like I said, I'm testing some films for lomography, and now I can't do it anymore, so which is a bit of a bummer. Okay, speaking of composition for street photography, what do you see in a scene? The geometry, color, light, and subjects. Right, Rob, very good question. I would say the first three that you mentioned: geometry, color, and light. As any photographer, first thing you look for is light. So if there is a good light, it excites you straight away. And then the geometry is more like the composition thing, looking for lines and things. Colors, it depends, because if the light is good, color can be secondary, and I could simply would see the whole geometry, the texture of the photos, and then I would basically in my mind I would calculate what sort of things could happen, and then I'll decide whether that's going to be a black and white photo or color photo. If it's color, then the color section will be very important for me, because I need to make sure there is some contrast there. If I decided to be black and white, and then I want to make sure there's enough shadows and bright areas for me to sculpt the whole scene. So it can be very, very difficult or tricky. If it makes sense, I'm not sure if it makes sense. In terms of subjects come late, because when you have all those elements, like I mentioned earlier, the subject can be incidental, can be random. You just cannot, at least for me anyway, I don't post people like that. So subjects can be a little bit of a hit and miss, because I can be there, standing there when it's good light, when it's good composition, everything's perfect, but he or she doesn't come out, or the crowd or people, something just doesn't work. So that sometimes that would mean that I don't have a shot, even though the scene was just perfect. That's why street photography can be really, really tricky and very difficult to master. People can have good execution skills, but when it comes to actually taking that photo, it requires a lot of skills, patience, and a little bit of luck, I have to say, and because you have to wait for that to happen, right? Okay, hope that is the question. What is my favorite strobe and flash? Right, I like my Olympus stuff, so I guess at the moment I'm using the FL900R together with the wireless setup that I use at the moment, and so I used a whole series. I have about 3 FL900Rs and a whole bunch of this remote thing. I can't remember the name of it. All from Olympus. They're really good, powerful enough for me to do some daylight flash. So that's quite good. I don't use a particular strobe, so that's what I use, because these days flash becoming less of important for the stuff that I do anymore, and because cameras are so good now, and then so it's easier for me to shoot without flash. So even if I use flash, usually for fill lights rather than main light. So that's if that makes sense to you guys. So what else in here? What do you think about the 1.7 Summilux? That's a good lens. EM5 versus EM5 III. Wow, what, first generation against the latest generations? I might make that video, right? Okay. Hi, Carrie. Hong Kong brand always is so chill. Really? So I chill, it's really good, isn't it? I feel good now. I feel young. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you for that. Shaka, can you tell us why Olympus is the brand I prefer? Okay, alright. I will tell you later, because I want to make a video out of it. Okay, so I don't want to spoil you guys. Randy, what Billingham bag? One? What Billingham? I have a lot of Billingham, so I don't know which one you talked about. The one that I have right here is the Hadley Small Pro, which is enough for holding 2 bodies, or 1 body with 3 lenses, depending on what your combination is. Hey Vincy, hi, how are you? Wow, finally, you're here. Welcome. Okay, when Hyde Park after lockdown, tested the color reverse film as well with X-Pan. You love your camera, don't you? X-Pan and GW690. I have the camera too. Excellent camera. That is really good camera. Love it. And wow, let me know how you get on with those films, and that would be cool. Hello, I am Romanian Excellent. For me, subject is the most important things. It is story that I want to freeze forever. Very true. That's depending on what sort of thing you do. If you're doing documentary thing, if you're following a subject, you know who you're going to photograph in terms of that person. That's perfect. That's what I do in terms of environmental portraits. Well done. That's a good point. What Billingham bag would you recommend for 2 Leica bodies and 3 lenses with films? Woo! Wow. Okay, right. Just to give you some size comparison, this is the Hadley Small Pro. That's enough for 2 M bodies with no spare lenses. So you can, of course, the front pocket can hold films and stuff like that. So this is for 2 bodies. So if you want to have 2 bodies and how many lenses? 3 more lenses. You need a bigger bag. So like you may want to have a, I would say the Hadley 1 Pro. That's big. And then or even the Hadley Large. Eventer is quite big, but probably too big for what you need. And I think Hadley 1 Pro should be quite nice, or 335. That's good as well. Okay, so any other question here? Right, I think I'm gonna. I don't know why I put this beach up, the beach photo. I do have one photo I want to show you guys because I miss the beach. I do really miss the beach, and see if I can find a photo for you guys. And then, because I'm missing it, I'm really missing it. And I don't know about you guys, but you know, because of the lockdown at the moment, I don't know when I'm gonna see the beach. To be honest, it's a little bit of disappointment. Let's see if I can get this picture out for you guys because I love it. Oh, I can't see it now. Oh, this one. Yes. Found it, and I'm gonna bring it up to screen. Oops, shit. Okay, right. Where is it? There you go. Let's do this. Yay! Right. I like this photo. Right, you guys recognize it? I bet you guys do. Okay, Rob, you got another question. When you say 2 bodies, do you mean 2 bodies with lenses attached? Yes, I do. I do mean it with lens attached. Because the good thing about canvas bags is just minimize this photo a little bit, and because I like to put it on the screen. And so the good thing about canvas material bags is they are soft. So you can kind of put a lot in these things. Even it's quite deceptive, you know, and it may not look like it's going to hold a lot, but you can actually squeeze quite a lot of stuff in it because it's soft. And I do like Billingham because the material is fully waterproof. You don't need a rain cover for it, so you can just walk out in a heavy rain without having to worry about a thing. And I do that many times when I'm doing street photography and travel. They just hold the gears nice and dry. That's the most important thing, right? Even though you got a what I call it, the weather seal bodies, you know, but you know you still want your thing dry most of the time. So that's what I think is pretty good. Okay, please tell me if you use vintage lenses and why you use them. Okay, I do use vintage lenses. It's the look, it's the aesthetic that I like, depending on what sort of thing I'm photographing. If I'm photographing, for instance, some sort of themed portrait, I would prefer to use some vintage lenses. If the subject wants to wear something like a 60s style, 70s styles, then I'll use a vintage lens because the aesthetic looks cannot be replicated in post. You know, like if you're using vintage lens, they have certain renderings, certain characters from the lens, and that's why I use them for that particular shoot. Even for filming as well, same thing. You know, if you want to film something that mimic the olden times, I would use vintage lenses because it's that look that you really cannot replicate with modern lenses and post productions. It's very difficult. You can throw in a lot of color gradings to it. You can throw a lot of artificial grains and things to it, but it would not look the same. It has to be vintage lenses. That's why you really want to mix and match with the lenses so you can get the look that you want. Is your room pink? No, my room is not pink. My room is actually gray. Actually, let me switch it off so you can see. There you go. That's the real color, Henry. I just add a little bit of colors to it. I like colors. Okay, have you ever dropped my cameras? Of course I have, Rob. I dropped my EM1 so many times, and even my EM1X, and I got scars on them. Vincy, okay, oh, you gotta go. Okay, see you later, Vincy. And I'm glad you joined us for a little bit. And follow your... Do you use straps? I do. Just like one here. This is my Pen F. I do have a wrist strap here, so I can... Let me click out this photo so you can see the camera strap. So like I use this. But even that, I still drop things. I'm so careless, I'm telling you. You know, it's sometimes when you just take it out and do things, I don't know, I drop them. And unfortunately, that's me. Lucky that Olympus cameras are very well built. And they're very solid as well. So far, I haven't broken anything. Right, what's my favorite vintage lens? Okay, tricky question. My favorite vintage lens, I guess it would be the old Canon 85 1.2 FD lens. That's one of my favorites. That's super unique. But on the Micro Four Third is equivalent of 170 millimeters, so it's quite long. But that's one of my favorite lenses in terms of look. Then other Russian lenses, I like Russian lenses. They're cheap and cheerful. You know, you can get them for £5 on eBay, so that's good. What else? And then Olympus is good to be used. Legacy lens, good idea for video. Yes, absolutely. Hello, hi Hung. Nice to see you. Currently have EP5, EM10-2, EMI5-2. Love the features on those cameras. They also feature reach. Yes, I agree. I could never use all those features on them. Very true. Very true. Oh, hi Johnson. Oh, you recognized it. You recognized this. Yay, yes. That's good. I don't think too many people actually know this brand. You know, this is a very, very old Hong Kong brand, and yeah, I like it. And like, can you actually see? Can you see all the chicken? That's cool, isn't it? Lee, okay, Dad gave me an Olympus OM2, great camera OM2, and I've been enjoying it. I've been also buying a binge. Started to buy some vintage OM lenses. Got the Zuko 35 2.8, real nice. Nice. That's a very good lens and very tiny as well. If you really want something really truly characterful, look for the I think it's the 55 f1.2. Look for that lens. Interesting lens. Only on film, not digital, because you look horrible on digital, I'm telling you. Randy, your favorite black and white film and color film? Do you shot much film anymore? I still do shoot films. Not with me at the moment, and I have them in the fridge somewhere. My favorite black and white would be either the Ilford XP2, just because it's what's it, E46? Oh no, C41 processing. That's just easy. Or the Triax and Kodak, and they're really nice. I love it. And color film, I love the Fujifilm 400H. I love it. I love that film. I don't know why. I just love it. And I also like the Fuji Reala 100. Unfortunately, they don't do that anymore. So unfortunately, that's no longer the case. But that's, yeah. I can go on about film. So I'm a film nerd. So don't get me started, Randy. Hello, Germany. Hello, Santos. Hi. How are you? Rob, do you like and use art filters? If so, any favorite? I'm not entirely sure. I did use one. I can't remember the name of it. I can't remember. No, the short answer is no. I don't use art filters. I used it for fun. Sometimes because you can actually apply art filters in videos in the Olympus camera, which is kind of funny, and it's kind of cool. Right, food. Padia, I love XP2. Oh, XP2, yes, that's nice, isn't it? I like that. I like that film. In fact, I want to. Let's see if I can show you some film photos that I took. Let me see if I can see something. Oh, this is a film, right? Okay, I'm gonna bump up some of the stuff here for you guys. So this is shot with XP2. This is one in Hong Kong, shot on the Leica M6, and also this one here. And let's do this slightly smaller. I'll show you another one here. So I'm gonna bring up another one. Oops. Right. Okay. Right. Let's do this. So these two photos, yeah, they are all both taken in Hong Kong. When I was there a couple of years ago. So yeah, they're all XP2. What film cameras do I own? Oh gosh, don't get me started there. I have the one that I use the most is the M6. I use the M6 a lot, almost exclusively for film. I do have the Minolta Dynix 9 Ti, also the Canon EOS 1V, and also EOS 3. So yeah, I have a whole bunch of stuff, and also the GW690, a lot of lomography, medium format cameras. I have quite a few. I like this 74 green van like every day. Oh wow, man, you can recognize that. Oh yeah, you can see the 74 there. Yes. Yeah, it's an awesome van, isn't it? They're nutters. Okay, right, I think I've done quite a bit already. It's almost an hour long, so I may have to end in about a couple of minutes time, because I know you guys will be tired, but thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm going to continue this live session every week now, since I'm stuck at home. So I think, I don't know, let me know, you guys, is 3 p.m. a good time? Because I'm going to probably stick with 3 p.m. just after lunch in UK and before dinner, so I have a little bit of free time there before the family commitments kicks in, so that will be quite good. And so 3 p.m. Wednesdays, I will stick with this schedule. Let me know if it's not okay. I will adjust it. I'll go with the majority, see what you guys think, and then we'll go from there. And also this live streaming will evolve over time. I'll try to make it a little bit more structured. I know today is more a casual chat, so as I will try to make it a little bit more structured. And also, if you guys want me to basically kind of improve your photography, you want me to send me your photos and let me have a look at them and give you some sort of constructive advice, you're very welcome to do so. Our email is in our YouTube page. You can simply just click on that link and send us some photos, and we'll bring it in the show next time. Okay, that's cool. Let's see. Oh, 3 a.m. Australia. Oh wow, yeah, I forgot about Australia. Yes, wow. Oh, hello Australia. You are completely the other way around, isn't it? So you're totally the opposite. Oh yeah. Okay, I totally forgot about that. Well, I don't know how to struck a good time for everybody, but at the moment 3 p.m. is the best for me, and just because I have kids here and everybody's in the house, we can't go anywhere, so it's hard to find a freer time for me. So let's go from there. Okay, it's morning here, LA, perfect. We're good. Actually, everything is good. 3 p.m. is good. Right, excellent. Hi, Anton. Is it Anton? Nice. Hi, Australia. I like your logo. Your logo is cool. It's Kellogg's Conflict. Where are the thumbs up, guys? Yeah, Alvin. Okay. Excellent. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's 101. Even though it's not quite 101, I did talk a little bit about photography. I hope you guys enjoyed this though. I might structure a little bit. I want to have a more specific theme from now on, and I might bring out one photo and talk about it, or one or two photos for per video or per stream that I'll talk about, and I'll probably look at some of your photos hopefully, and then we can talk about photography. You can ask me any questions, the gear, lenses that I use for that particular shot, or why I took that shot, and things like all the behind the scenes stuff. I can tell you all about it. That would be good. I have tons of photos to share with you guys, because I think in this Red 35 channel so far, I haven't really been showcasing a lot of my work, and a lot of the reviews, images, I have been just basically showing you the pictures I took with that lens for that time, you know, and I haven't really show you guys my professional images, and so I guess, you know, some of you guys may be interested to see. So if you guys would like, I'll bring more of my images to show you guys. So that would be cool. If you guys don't know, also I'm going to put on the link down in the description. I will be having a personal YouTube channel. Is going to be more fun, more me kind of in general, you know, about Hong Kong, about me living in London, a kind of thing. And I also have a Facebook page. I'm going to put all the links down in the description so you can follow me, because I do have a daily stream about my update in London, especially during the lockdown time at the moment. So we will see if you guys will be following me from there. So yeah. I'm everywhere. I'm on all kinds of social media platforms at the moment. So hopefully you guys will be like this. So okay, let's wrap this up. So thank you guys for joining me all again today, because I'm really happy to see so many people contributing and everything. I can see all you guys talking, which is fantastic. I'm feeling very well, very happy, especially for this long time that I have in the house. So it's so good to see you guys actually interactive, you know, in real time, which is actually fantastic. And also, you know, I cannot stress how much you need to stay safe. So please don't go outside. You know, just take your government's advice. Try not to pass it, or help the spread. You know, and then just stay home. Be safe. Wash your hands frequently, and be safe and be happy. Happy shooting. You know, use the equipment out at home. Do some sort of experiment. I'll be hoping to show you guys how to use some of the features in the futures to achieve certain things in the house. Hopefully, that will be good. Anyway, so remember to follow me around on Facebook and also my YouTube channel. And in the future, links will be down in the descriptions. And I shall see you next Wednesday. If you want to see my daily update, it will be on my Facebook, and also subscribe to my personal channel for things that I'll be putting in the future. I have no idea what I'm going to do yet, but I have a lot of time to kill at the moment. Okay, so I will speak to you guys later. Bye for now. Bye, guys. Like to see you guys. I don't want to see you guys go. Oh, okay. Right. Bye.